Do you think these protests could turn violent?
We're all pioneers. Even civilians are tough enough to start something.
And interfering in hydroponics threatens our oxygen supply. They know that.
What would you do with the protesters?
I'd send in a squad and march them out. At gunpoint if we must. If they resist, a few might land in medbay, but it's better than losing hydroponics. Or the Nexus.
These people aren't the enemy. We didn't come all this way to rip families apart. We'll manage the resource squeeze somehow.
Your compassion is admirable, but...
Guess we're all tightening our belts.
You can run a stasis override command from operations. I hope the rest will be that easy.
Tracking enemy activity. Zones 2, 12, 19.
Colonial Affairs, please advise Director Tan of your status.
Well, those families are out of stasis. I know because we're cutting rations for Apex.
My decision's made, Kandros.
And now everyone thinks protesting is how we get stuff done. Excuse me.
Supply request is in. Meds, mail, and MREs coming your way.
They remind...
No news on the Turian Ark yet? Or is this militia business?
It's rough out there. I might need backup if you can spare the people.
I have strike teams specializing in assault and extraction. If you need serious firepower, my Apex teams have you covered. But that isn't news to you, right?
What's the latest on the Ket?
This Archon up there seems like a juicy target if we could find him, but our intel's coming up blank. All we know for sure is that he's interested in you. Why? How does he even know about you?
You talk like you weren't part of the leadership. How did you end up commanding the militia?
I was escorting a prospecting team on some moon when those Ket found us. They penned us like cattle for experiments. I managed to get loose, snatched a gun, and freed the others. By the time we killed the bastards and headed back to warn the Nexus, everyone looked at me like I was in charge.
That sounds familiar.
The militia grew from there. Funny, once the heat is on, all kinds of people rise to the top.
Are the other Turians managing okay?
So-so. We're not good at sitting around in a crisis. Service before self gets drummed into us at boot camp. That's probably why so many of us are in the militia. We like to earn our citizenship, whatever galaxy we're in. But it's hard to focus with our arc missing.
You talk like you weren't part of the leadership.
They penned us by the time we killed the...
That sounds familiar.
The militia grew from there. Funny, once the heat is on, all kinds of people rise to the top.
What brought you out here to Andromeda?
I was tired of being the good one.
The good one?
The Kandros family is old military. There were expectations, you know? Then my sister became a sculptor and cousin Irene went pirate on Omega. Everyone was proud that I stayed in service. But I kept wondering, when do I get my adventure? Jen Garson's dream was so grand, so gutsy, I had to be part of it.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
Weekly injury report. Multiple casualties under heavy engagement.
Superintendent Cash reminds everyone all power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand. Maintenance crews, please report to the commons area. Apex personnel, please check.
Okay, sending the override command. The stasis pod should start unlocking.
You're really doing this? I was at the protest in hydroponics. I thought we'd just get more excuses. But we already lost a year waiting for our families. I'm glad it's time.
Things will be lean for a while. The new mouths to feed.
But you're out there. We'll manage somehow. My mom was scared something would go wrong and she'd be awake in stasis all that time. She isn't... It doesn't work like that, but I just want her out, so I know.
Override complete. Stasis revival triggered on the Nexus. For Jasper K, Griffith G, Hilkvist A, Demerchi P, Kozlov S.
There! That's her!
Why are you still here? Go be the face your mom wakes up to.
I will. Thank you.
Given new resource allocation, personnel in stasis on the Hyperion may now be required to wait longer.
When it's time, you'll have a home to wake up to. I promise.
Attention, civil disobedience has been reported in hydroponics. Security is investigating.
Pathfinder.
I've been digging, and there are serious concerns about Spender.
And this relates to your job as Pathfinder how?
It relates to your job.
3, 4, 5. Right. I've had a year and a half of doing everything with nothing. 1,000 people riding me. Spender, shit as he is, helps. So, Pathfinder, if you've accusations to make, be certain. I'll drop trouble like a hot rock, but I can't lose people over suspicions. We don't have the people left.
Director Addison.
Pathfinder.
Colonial Affairs, please advise Director Tan of your status. Maintenance crew,
We're done here.
Please report to the commons area.
Good to see you.
Convicted murderer Duncan Rensis, pardoned after an investigation by the
Hi, Ryder.
Maintenance crews, please report to the commons area. Any logistics updates are due within the hour.
Hi, Ryder.
No, I am not imagining things, Kesh. The air in here is too cold.
Our ventilation system is uniform across the station.
Nonsense. It is at least several degrees warmer everywhere else.
It's all in your head, Tan. I have to go.
I know you're doing this on purpose.
And now I really have to go.
Hydroponics reports oxygen.
Congratulations are in order. Peaceful contact with the Angara. It's everything the initiative stands for.
From what I've seen, we could spend years learning about their culture.
I am sure you have pleased our scientists to no end. This was a rare occurrence in the Milky Way. In the meantime, I am eager to forge diplomatic ties with the Angaran people. We need any allies we can get. Did you have some other business?
Any more information you can give me on the missing arcs?
No, and that is the distressing part. The Asari, Turian, and Solarian arcs are completely unaccounted for. If they had the same problems with the Scourge that we did, I fear the worst. Should you find any clues, please investigate. Without the other arcs, the promise of the initiative can never be fulfilled.
Are there any other arcs we should expect?
We had hoped Quarians would be part of the first wave, but before departure in 2185, we got word they had technical problems with their ship. It seems they're also bringing along Drell, Hanar, and other species as well. Managing all of their biological needs caused complications. We won't see them for some time to come.
Sounds like the Nexus has had a rough time of it.
Publicly, I would say we're more than up for the challenge. Privately, I can tell you, it's been a disaster. The Scourge killed hundreds, many of them our senior leadership. Even the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, is dead.
How did Jean Garson die?
With the rest of the leadership, when the Nexus hit the Scourge, a large wing of stasis pods was destroyed. They were killed instantly. These people traveled 600 years and died before they even woke up. Gian Garson never glimpsed Helios. She never saw her vision realized.
Kandros mentioned something about hitting the Scourge. How did it play out?
Criminal elements took advantage of the emergency and preyed on people's fears. An uprising followed. We had no choice but to turn to the Krogan to deal with them. They crushed the mutiny and the criminals were banished. Exiles, we called them. I doubt we've heard the last of them. They're led by an outlaw, Sloane Kelly. She used to be one of ours.
Who is this Sloane Kelly?
She was head of security on the Nexus. She opposed the uprising at first, but eventually turned traitor and joined them. Misguided sympathy for the plight of the common citizen? Nonsense. They posed a direct threat to our existence.
There don't seem to be many Krogan around.
Good riddance. The Krogan demanded a greater say in political matters. The last place you want them involved. Their muscle, nothing more. Good for fighting and lifting heavy objects. When they didn't get what they wanted, they left.
Why don't you like the Krogan?
It's common knowledge that they are a violent, ignorant species. Long ago, they waged nuclear war on one another. Their planet was decimated. My people tried to uplift them, but the Krogan could never tame their worst instincts. What if they bring their tempers to Andromeda? We'll all be dead.
As director of the initiative, are you in charge around here, or what?
If the others would allow me, they don't see me as the rightful successor.
So how does anything get done?
In theory, Kesh handles the Nexus's physical operations, Kandros runs the militia, and Addison manages colonial affairs. I oversee all of it. In practice, we argue, debate, and yell at each other until a decision is made. If we're lucky. It is maddening.
What's their problem with you?
I am not Gian Garson. Our founder was charismatic, eccentric, larger than life. Traits I cannot hope to mimic. She and her inner circle perished in the Scourge, some at the hands of the Exiles, some never made it out of stasis. I was deputy assistant for revenue management. Then all 7 leaders above me died. I was next in line for the role.
So, you're an accountant?
Don't let that fool you. We are all capable of more than we know. When I was young, I was fascinated by the idea of exploring space. Life had its detours, and I went a different direction. Then I heard about the Initiative, and saw my chance to try the path not taken. While I may not be setting foot on new worlds, my authority can ensure that you do.
Right. Sorry. What do I need to consider in making a planet viable?
Assuming the planet supports life, an outpost is critical. People like a roof over their heads, and you'll want to eliminate any hostile threats. Whether that's the Ket or other terrors lurking in Helios, colonists being murdered on sight can be discouraging. Also, scouting and mapping terrain is a priority for any Pathfinder. And don't forget forward stations. You'll want those.
What can you tell me about forward stations?
I was afraid you'd ask. It's mostly what the engineers tell me. A forward station allows mining, equipment repairs, and resupply for field teams. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
That's all. Thanks for your time.
I'm here to serve.
Any logistics updates are due within the hour.
Hi, Ryder.
A worker was lost to space during repairs. Maintenance crews, please report to the commons area. A violent illness related to cherry-like fruit.
The extra resources from the colonies are really easing our workload.
Glad to hear it, Kesh.
First contact, huh? Last one of any note was when your people stumbled over that relay. If they can trade us materials that'll help fix the Nexus, I'm good with it.
I noticed there aren't a lot of Krogan around.
Tan, ask him why most of my people left. He'll have opinions. I can tell you this much. When the mutiny happened, a deal was made. My clan were supposed to settle matters and, in return, get more say in the initiative.
Did the deal go through?
The clan held up their part, but Tan had a meltdown when he found out we wanted more say around here. Then Addison's assistant, Spender, pretended he never made the deal in the first place. It was a mess, but I don't blame my people for walking out. We're done being used.
With your clan gone, why did you stay?
It's complicated. The station and my clan both need me here.
What sort of problems have you seen on the Nexus?
Situation's gone to shit pretty much sums it up. There's ARCs missing. Some idiots tried to mutiny and take over, then more idiots offended my clan, so they left. And to top it all off, the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, was killed.
What happened to Gian Garson?
Killed in the Scourge disaster. Her and a bunch of the other leaders. Tan might know more.
When we left the Milky Way, the Krogan were still dealing with a genophage.
Right. The genophage. A little gift to our people from the Solarians thousands of years ago. That sterility virus they infected us with left most of our children stillborn. Only 1 in 1,000 survive.
No wonder your people have such a problem with Solarians.
Some wounds never heal. Not that my ancestors didn't provoke it. They did try to conquer the galaxy. The Solarians were forced to respond. And it's not fair to blame it all on them either. The Solarians developed the virus, but it was the Turians who deployed it. I'm hoping that's all in the past. Plenty of blame to go around, but Andromeda is about new beginnings. My people need that more than most.
What about the Krogan here in Andromeda?
There's no cure for it. But my clan was starting to show mutation against the virus. A natural defense. During the trip to get here, Krogan underwent gene therapies to enhance the mutation while we were in stasis.
So you used those 600 years to your advantage. Gave the adaptation more time to develop.
Yeah. It's still early, but I think we made a dent. Our scientists say we've improved viability to almost 4%, which is a lot better than what we had. Beyond all the statistics, it means more Krogan children will live. It's the only way my people have a future out here.
Nothing more for now.
Try not to die out there.
Superintendent Cash reminds everyone all power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand. Superintendent Cash reminds everyone all power grid adjustments
Hey,
must be
Ryder.
approved